Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling tune-up Tuesday. How was your tune-up Tuesday today? Did you do any changes? Did you make any tweaks and changes to your mindset, to your day? Did you step outside your comfort zone today? Let us know in the comments below. Our day has been very busy. We dropped off Zeffie this morning at the vet's, and she was not a happy camper at all. We got there and they told us that our appointment was for the 18th of June, not the 18th of May. And so I explained very nicely to the woman who answered the phone that I specifically made this appointment out of all the Banfield hospitals in the area. This was the only one that had vacancy for Tuesday, the 18th of May. And, have I been forgiven? We'll talk about that in a minute. She's just come over for scratches. Hey, sweetie girl. And that I specifically made this one since I would not be here in June. And she said, oh. And I said, and everything I've got says today. And I said, we are it. And I read her off the address. She goes, well, maybe it's a different Banfield. And I said, well, this one is the one at address, and read her off the address. She goes, yeah, that's right. I said, and I've got this vet here is the one that I've booked in to see. And she's like, oh, well, let me have a look and see if we can squeeze you in. So I was on hold for like 5 minutes while they came in, and she came back and said, yes, we can squeeze you in today. Oh, well, thank you very much. I had an appointment. I had paperwork that proved I had May. For some reason, their system said June. Don't ask me how or why. So went in there, got her all checked and everything else. And then the vet tech came out to take Zeffie back and put the little name tag on her and gave her the leash. And she starts walking away, and Zeffie starts walking towards me. And the girl's walking the opposite way, and Zeffie's trying to get to me. And I'm sort of like, oh my God. And I couldn't go anywhere because I had to clean up her pee because she peed on the floor while the girl was putting the temporary collar on her with her name and stuff on it. And so she finally got her back behind all the closed doors and everything else. I didn't hear any whining. I didn't hear any howling. So I went and cleaned up her mess and then left and got back here. It was so weird. Oh, actually, no, I didn't come here. I went and got my Arizona address sorted out. So yes, I now have an Arizona address. So for those of you who've been waiting patiently for my Arizona address, I now have it. So private message me your links to update and we can get that done. So I got back. So when I finally got back here, I was sort of like, well, now what do I do? There's no dog to play with. I've got work to do and all that sort of stuff. But it just felt so strange not having her here. And normally she's in the bedroom asleep in there. But knowing that she wasn't there was really weird. It was just a weird day. But I got on early to Mailbox Park because I had to leave there early because they told me that they closed at 5:30. And because I was calling them at 12 o'clock to say, hey, is Zeffie ready to pick? Oh, no, she hasn't even been seen by the vet yet. I said, excuse me? They said, oh, the vet's been in surgery all morning with emergency surgery. So I went, oh, okay. And I thought, well, if it was in an emergency surgery, why didn't you tell me that when I dropped her off? But anyway, whatever. Maybe it happened after I dropped her off. Who knows? But found out from her that I had to pick her up by 5:30. And I'm sort of like, well, I don't finish work till 5 o'clock. And so sent a message off to Frank saying, this is the situation. I got to leave a little earlier. And so, but I did get on earlier as well. So that got it all covered. I still got my hours in. So it was finally time for me to head off and go pick up Zeffie, and I got there, did everything I needed to do. They gave me the paperwork, I'd made the payment I had to make, and then they brought Zeffie out, and she just saunters on over to me and just stands there and looks up at me, and I bend down and talk to her and ask her how she is, and her tail's wagging slowly, and then they give me her lead, and as soon as she felt that lead pass, she just starts walking off like, are we going? And I get her outside, and she does her thing, and we put her in the car, and not her usual exuberance in the car. I mean, when she goes to jump in the car, I open the door, and she goes flying in there. That she kind of slides across the top of the seat cover. But no, she just jumped up nicely in there, and very sedately, and just stood there very quietly, and I gave her some scratches and some loving and stuff, and then we came home, and I got out of the car to bring her inside because I figured it's still a little warm to go walking. I said to her, I need to get some energy. I need something to drink. I need a protein shake or something, like a protein bar or a protein shake or something, just to give me some energy to keep going. And so we got into the house and she completely ignored me. Got into the RV, she completely ignored me. She went and had a little drink of water. She went up on her bed on the thing. And it wasn't until I started doing this live that she actually came over to me and stood between my legs so she could get some scratches. And now here she is. Hey, Zeffy girl. You gonna say hi? Zeph. Zeffy. Nope, see, I'm being totally ignored. Totally ignored. But she'll come around, and it's probably because it's been a very stressful day for her too. So she's going to take a little while. And I have to keep an eye on her and everything else. But she's now up to 36.4 pounds. And they say it's an ideal weight. And I'm just sort of like, okay. I didn't think she was getting any heavier than 35. It's what I got told when she was a pup. But they said 36.4 and she's at an ideal weight. And I'm like, okay. So, but now she's had her complete physical done. There was a thing that she had on her left shoulder that I said I was concerned about. I said, because I can't tell if it's something that's scabbed over or if it could be a buried tick. And I'm trying to think about the tick thing because I put lavender oil between her shoulder blades, and lavender oil helps keep fleas and ticks off dogs. And you got to have it not watered, diluted. Diluted, that's the thing. You got to dilute it with a carrier oil. So you can't put straight lavender oil on them. You have to dilute it with a carrier oil. And I usually put a couple of drops between her shoulder blades, and that helps keep the fleas and ticks off her. And so I said, I was kind of a little worried, and it turned out to be some skin growth that looked like a black scab. So they're meant to have removed it, and they're going to send it away for a biopsy or whatever and get it tested and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see what that comes back with. But anyway, so she's all up to date on her shots. She's in good health, except for this tick thing that she seems to have somehow acquired some disease that's related to ticks. And I said, but she hasn't had any ticks on her. They go, well, how do you know? I said, because I'm constantly, giving her cuddles and snuggles and scratches and all of that. And she quite often rolls on her back for me to scratch her tummy. So I know she's had no fleas and ticks on her or anything. I said, you haven't felt any small bumps? I said, just the one on her shoulder I told you about this morning. And that's only appeared in the last couple of days. And they're like, oh. I said, yeah. I said, she gets full body massages at least twice a day. Once in the morning and once in the evening. She gets full body massages. So I would know if there was any ticks on her. And they're like, oh, okay. And then he said, well, the other thing with this disease that she's showing that she got a positive reading on, which is related to ticks, is that she could have been in contact with a dog who had the disease. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, it's kind of like a TB test. You know when they do that little prickly thing on your forearm and stuff for the TB test, and if you get a reaction, it either means that you're carrying TB or you've been in contact with somebody with TB. And I'm just like, it's kind of what it reminded me of. So we'll just keep an eye on her and just see how she does. But she's resting now, so I know she wants to go for a walk, so we're going to go do that now. But anyway, let us know how your day was. What tweaks and changes did you make today? Did you step outside your comfort zone today? Let us know in the comments below. I always like hearing when people step outside their comfort zone. I like to cheer them on. And, oh, it's over there. I even have my pom-pom sitting right there. Yep. And we've got the AC guy coming in tomorrow. So fingers crossed we will have 2 working ACs tomorrow instead of 1, which will be, it'll be so good to have 2 working ACs. Because it means that I can have, because the one up here, which is the one that's meant to be for the bedroom, that one is really noisy when you're in the bedroom, and of course it's really noisy when I'm sitting here working. But if I can put the front one on and turn the back one off, especially at night, I can keep the RV cool. It won't be 75 when I wake up in the morning. I can keep the RV cool with just that front. Normally what I used to do is put the AC on to keep it cool overnight, and that was enough to keep the bedroom cool as well. And then in the mornings, once it started heating up a little bit, then the second AC went on. So we shall see what happens. They don't make quiet ACs. They really don't. They need to. But anyway, we're out of here. We're going to go for a walk. You ready for your walk, Zeffy? Zeph? Oi. Eyes. Nothing. Just a flick of the ear. Okay, you ready to go for a walk? She's sort of like, I'll wait till you move. Anyway, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We will catch you guys tomorrow for Winning Wednesday, where we get to celebrate our wins for this week. And tomorrow's going to be a very hectic day. I have my accountability call at 9 o'clock. Between 9 and 11 is when the RV guy is going to show up. And I know that he actually drove past today, so I know what his truck looks like. Because I looked up at one point and I could see him slowly driving past, and I figured out he's figuring out where I am. And I told him exactly where I was, and he says, oh, yes, I know the exact site. So he drove past today, I guess just to verify that he had the right place. So he now knows where the RV thing is. So he'll be here between 9 and 11 tomorrow. So it's going to make tomorrow very interesting. Because while he's working, I'm going to be working. And but have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hei konera.